Turn it on. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it on. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it on. Turn your cell phone off. All right, everybody on your feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Turn and say hello to someone you don't know. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah.
Good. Hello. Good morning, CSL Palm Desert. How are we doing this morning?
Good morning, William. Woo-hoo.
All right. I'm William Conway. Hello. I'm your MC of the evening. It looks like we need to get some slides up here. There we go. Now I get to say it. What about the William slides? I love it. Can't believe it. Problem is, I've got the clicker. Anyway, all right, let's say our mission statement, shall we, together? We are a dynamic, open, and inclusive spiritual community, awakening you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. Excellent. That is such a true statement and one that really hits dear and near to my heart. All right, so what do we got going on? All right, we have, here we have, Tim. God, I tell you, man, brain goes right out the window. I love it. Just love that. All right, Tim, right after service, 12:30 to 2 o'clock, guess what? Government's here again, and it's open enrollment. Woo! Fun indeed. But anyway, Tim really knows his stuff, and he will help you figure out what type of health care plans, if there's any change that you need to be done. It is open enrollment, so it's a very, very important meeting to have, especially if that's, if you have health issues or you just need to know what's going on. All right, next, our lovely Dale. She has her Monday through, on Mondays through the 6th, she has her class at 10 a.m. to noon, and then also from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. It is a love offering. Her classes are always so filled with information. She really touches you. She really gets you to see life and your life, more importantly, in a new and better way. And next, Cher Margolis. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Shar. There's no I in it, so it's Shar. She's an intuitive medium, And she has a workshop, it looks like December 9th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. But also on the 8th, there's a group reading from 6:30 to 8:30. $45 for the December 8th, and then it's $195 at the door for the December 9th. It's $200 at the door. I think it's going to be a great way. I mean, all that sort of stuff is really kind of very exciting. Talk about how we're all one. If we're all energy, and even when we make our transition, who's to say that there's no way of getting in contact back with the real world? I mean, not the real world, the physical world is what I meant to say. Excellent. So that'll be a nice little thing. Dances with the Stars, Christmas Stars, Sunday, December 3rd from 11 a.m. There's lunch at 12:30 to 3:30. It's a fundraisers for child help. $20 for adults, $15 for kids. Sign up on the patio. It should be a great, great afternoon and evening. Thanksgiving potluck. Ooh, Thanksgiving. I love my eggnog. It's in the stores now. I think I drink at least 8 gallons of that stuff every year. I'm so glad it only lasts for a month. But anyway, Thursday, November 23rd, 2 p.m. in Costa Hall. Everyone is welcome. It is hosted by the Rainbow Alliance. Bring your hot dish, that great grandma recipe that'll blow everybody's socks off. Believe me, that's going to be some good eating right there. So is that it for announcements, or we got it? That should be it. Well, thank you very much for your time. We have Gino with us today. That woman can sing. But I'll let...
Thank you, William. A fabulous job. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
I love you. Happy Sunday. Good morning, everybody. My favorite thing in the morning here on Sunday is to look out and see your faces. There's just the sunshine emanating from you. So we're gonna just kind of give and take. We're gonna take your sunshine. We're gonna give you some back. We're gonna feature the lovely, talented, and amazing Miss Gino Walker for you this morning. It's my girl right there, and she's spreading the good news, I might add.
That's right.
So everything on that dress is good news.
All about the good news. All about the good news. Good morning, Palm Desert.
Woo-hoo!
How you doing this morning? Yes.
You want a tempo right here? Give me a tempo. 1, 2, 3, and...
Radiant faith is my friend today, and I see my life in a different way. I'm not excited, and I'm not crawling in despair, but I'm better than I have been. At the center of my sober mind, I am sure I am calm, all is well. For I know that every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain lay low. I'm living in the desert, the roses blooming on the highway, for my God, blooming on the highway, for my God. Woo. The years on the road, so narrow and long, taught me to listen to life's sacred song. Can't you hear it? And even if you fall, a radiant faith keeps you strong, and it gives you the courage to stand. Feel the song, and move on. But be sure that every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain laid low. I'm living in the desert, the roses blooming on the high. gotta do the work on the highway. You're walking in forever on the highway. You hear a choir of angels on the highway. There's no hitchhiking on the highway. Every day's a blessing on the highway. You're walking in forever on the highway. You hear a choir of angels on the highway. There's no hitchhiking on the highway. You gotta do the work on the highway. For my God, every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain laid low. I'm living in the desert. The rose is blooming on the highway. For my God, I'm blooming on the highway. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm blooming on the highway. Yeah, yeah. For my God. Blooming on the highway. For my God.
Gina Walker. Woo! Girl. Woo! Nice.
I need to be turned on. Y'all turned me on already. Am I there? Hello, hello. It's on. Excuse me. How's this?
More. A little more.
A little more? A little more. Testing. Hello. It's like on my back, honey. I don't know how to. I haven't learned that quite yet. My next Science of Mind class will be teaching me how to rotate my head around. Thank you. All right, I think I'm on. Can you guys hear me? All right, I am playing the role of Dr. Joe today. My name is Dale, and I'm the lead practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. So right now, it's so hard to pull us into that quiet time after you give us your wonderful vibrancy and aliveness, but we can do that. So I invite you right now just to put aside anything that you're carrying on your heart or on your mind that's been troubling you, because this is our time to move from the head and into our heart space, and to just let ourselves breathe, to be in that peaceful place that resides deep within ourselves, that is undisturbed by anything in the outside world. And so let's breathe in together and exhale. And just feeling with every breath that we take, we become more and more quiet and still and centered and peaceful. And let's just be in this space right now to enjoy this time.
All to Spirit I surrender, all to Thee I freely give. I will ever love and trust You in Your presence daily. All to Spirit I surrender. What's good is whole. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am bound divine. I surrender all. I surrender all.
I am aware of a beautiful, loving spirit within me, a spirit that is the essence of the entire universe. This vibrational field of energy creates everything, all life, all stars, all planets. Everything is God. And I am also aware of the internal connection that I have to this spirit, that my oneness is with this one mind, that I am eternally connected to all things. I am, God is. And I choose in this moment to show up in my life, to be the person that walks in the truth, that walks in the love and the beauty and the joy that is spirit. And I know that I'm immersed in a field of endless possibilities and potential, that all of creation is working for my good. And I know that I show up in generosity and love, and that I create a vibrational field that surrounds all those around me and connecting me to the entire existence. And I show up ready, willing to be of service to all creatures, to all humanity. I choose in this moment to be that one that is focused on love, peace, serenity, and harmony, and to create that in my life. And I know I am responsible for creating a life of love and peace and joy and serenity. It is my choice always. I have the freedom to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, knowing that God always has my back, always ready and willing to give me whatever I desire. And I am so grateful for showing up in my life. I am so grateful for the love and the abundance of God and the generosity that is always, always given to me through God. I release my word now to the law of mind, knowing that it is so. And as I turn towards God, God turns to me. If these words resonate with you, please join me in saying, "And so it is. Amen."
I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender. I
to bring your awareness back into this room, feeling peaceful and quiet. And let's sing our next song together.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love is leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. 'Cause I believe I can fly, I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day, spread my wings and fly away. 'Cause I believe I can soar, I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly, I believe I can fly, I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes the silence seems so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve, but first it starts inside of me. If I can be it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. it, 'cause I believe we can fly. I believe we can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread your wings and fly away. I believe we can soar. I see us running through that open door. I believe we can fly. I believe we can fly. I believe I can fly. 'Cause I believe in me. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. If I can do it, then I can be it. If you just believe it, there's nothing to add. 'Cause I believe we can fly. I believe we can touch the sky. Think about it every night, every night, every night and day. Spread your wings and fly away. I believe each and every one of you can soar. I see you running, running, running through that open door. I believe you can fly. I believe you can fly. I believe you can fly. Oh, just hold your head up. You know, anything that you wanna do, you can do it. Anything that I wanna do, I can do it. Anything that you wanna do, you can do it. Anything that you wanna do, you can do it. You can fly. You can fly. You can fly. You can fly. Anything you wanna do, you can do it, yeah.
Gino Walker, our little ball of energy up here. And make sure and stop and see Gino at the table on her way out. Pick up one of her CDs and just give her a big old hug, because she is just a ball of love, this girl. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, good morning. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you this morning. I am in Kansas City with our National Leadership Council, and I wanted to be here, though, this morning with you to support Dale. She is your spiritual leader today. Dr. Joe and Reverend Laura are in Australia, and I wanted to make sure that she was completely supported and could focus on the things that she does so brilliantly. Is anyone here fed spiritually? Great. Is anyone today not want to continue to receive your spiritual goodness here? How many of you have received and filled out your member commitment campaign form? So we're calling this our Reignite campaign. This helps us as a center know you, stay in better touch with you, and deliver the goodness you come here to receive, whether that be live on Sundays or on live stream or during the week taking additional classes. So we thank you in advance for taking the time and making the commitment today to fill out and turn in your 2018 Giving Commitment campaign cards. And before I go, I want to invite you to see what those members who are committed to the center have to share. Enjoy, and I'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Jeff Harrison, along with my wife,
Carmen Kelly.
Carmen. We've been members now of the Center for how long?
I think it's almost been 10 years now.
It's been a tremendous journey, and it's for me personally, it was one of those things that really kind of changed the course of my life and got my stinking thinking cleared up. It made a big difference. You know, when it comes to the term, tithing or giving or pledging, we just, I think for us, we think of it as we just give. That's part of what we do. It's giving back. It's almost like we would never go to the movies and just kind of sneak in the back and then sneak out and not pay, because we're getting such a return on our time and our investment. So I feel like whenever we give to the center, we know we're giving back with more classes, more opportunities, the great messages.
Right, and it just feels good to be able to help support where you go and get your spiritual, or where you get spiritually fed. I just love that it's a give and take both ways, and who wouldn't want that? The center is a place where I can feel like I can come on Sundays and feel accepted. Like, I've lived in the desert for 27 years now, and it took me a long time to find a place that I could call home, and this is home for me. The center has definitely impacted my life for much more positive thinking, not living back in the past, and it's just always progressive. That's what I like about it. I wish I had learned about the center, in 1990 when I moved.
Hey, good morning. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you this morning. I am in Kansas City with our National Leadership Council, and I wanted to be here though this morning with you to support Dale. She is your spiritual leader today. Dr. Joe and Reverend Laura are in Australia, and I wanted to make sure that she was completely supported and could focus on the things that she does so brilliantly. Is anyone here? Hey, good.
Let's skip it. We're done. We're done. Sometimes you need to do things a little bit differently. Sometimes you need to shake things up. Sometimes you need to move away from the status quo. Sometimes you need to be a rebel. And this morning, that is what I have been called to do. Thank you. Which mic? Let's keep this one. Okay. Without or with? With this one? Okay. All right. So, it's good to be up here today. It's a joy and an honor for me to be speaking with you today and giving your message for this wonderful day that is before you and before us. Many of you know that the talk titles that we use here on Sundays are given to us by the organization that we belong to, Centers for Spiritual Living. And sometimes Dr. Joe and Reverend Laura will do the talk titles, and sometimes they'll do their own thing. Well, when I saw what the talk title was for today, I said, oh God, there is no way I'm doing that. It wasn't ringing to my heart. And I can't stand up here and speak to you without my heart getting engaged. So I asked Dr. Joe if there's any possibility I could just do my own thing. And he said, absolutely, absolutely. As long as you are in alignment with spiritual principle and you're relevant, you are good to go. However, yes, thank you. However, I don't know if he knew how far out I was going to go from the box that we're normally doing here. That's okay. So I have only one slide today, and that's it. This is my slide. I don't have slides with quotes. I do not have an affirmation for you to use today. And the reason why I am choosing to do that is because I don't want to engage your mind today. I do not want to engage your brain. I want to engage your heart. I want to speak to your heart today. And so the less reading that both of us are doing, the better that is going to be, and we will achieve that goal. And I know there are a lot of you that really like the affirmations and the slides and the PowerPoints because you can take them home with you. You can read them all week long and be reminded of what was taught. So I do apologize for that. However, I am giving you a gift that is going straight in your heart, and it is leaving with you, and you can use it all week long or the rest of your life, which is what I would love for you to do. So science of mind, this wonderful philosophy that we have here, gives us a ton of tools to use to expand our consciousness, to enlighten us, to learn how to use this wonderful life in the highest and best way possible, to connect to God. But I need to tell you that there are two pillars of belief that must be held in place, or else those tools are not going to be good for you. You're not going to be able to use them in the highest way possible. And those two pillars of belief, And by the way, when I say belief, I don't mean that it's something that you know up here where you go, yeah, I believe that. That's not what I'm talking about. The belief that I am talking about is when every cell and fiber of your being knows that is the truth. It is a belief that is so powerful. There is no doubt in your mind that that is the truth. It is a belief that is so strong that it is unshakable. This is the belief I am talking about. And so the first pillar, this is the belief that God is generous, that God is the all-giving, ever-loving, giving itself unceasingly to us in all ways, shapes, and forms. That belief is pillar one. Pillar two, maybe a little more difficult. Pillar two, that you are worthy and deserving of receiving the generosity of spirit at all times. Meaning that your heart is so free and clear that you say yes to the universe, that you feel and know that you are a valuable person, that you deserve to have it all, that nothing is withheld from you. That is pillar two. Now, I'm here today to teach you how to build those pillars if they are not intact in you. And if they're already built up, I'm here today to teach you how to solidify them, to cement them into your consciousness. And if those two pillars are already good to go, then this talk is just affirming what you already know. And so let's begin this journey. The first step is our relationship to God, to Spirit, whatever your higher power is. Understanding what that relationship is, what it means to you. Who is God to you? Many of you know that I was raised in the Jewish tradition, and God was really scary to me. I did not know where I stood with God. God was way up there somewhere. I was here. There were rules for me to follow, but I didn't know if I was following them correctly. I didn't know if I was following all of them. I thought God was judgmental and harsh, critical, could smite me at any moment. Very shaky ground with God. But thank God, I came here and I learned a whole other way of seeing spirit. I got to see spirit within me. I got to know God as a loving presence. I got to see God in everybody and everything and feel it and know that it is for me, not against me. And for every person that lives on this planet, there is a different way of seeing God. There is not one way. There are many, many, many roads to spirit, and they're all right. None of them is wrong. And so if we don't have a relationship to God, today's the day to begin that reach out. And if that doesn't make sense to you, you don't know how to go there, just think about what makes you feel connected to all life. What makes you feel unconditional love? What makes you feel like you are okay? That's where we start with connecting to spirit. And some people see spirit in a sunrise. Some people feel it in a church. Wherever you're feeling that connection, go there and grow it. Because unless we are connected to spirit, we're not going to even be able to connect to that source of all life, and then we can't use spiritual principles in the best way, because you got to have God. And so the second pillar is connected to this next relationship that we need to think about. And we need to be honest with ourselves about this. And that's our relationship with ourselves. Big deal, huh? Do you feel you're worthy and deserving of all the good that God has to give? Because God has a whole lot of it. Are your arms open wide to receive? Do you think you're worthy and deserving? Are you holding anything against yourself? When I was, actually it was a few years ago, about 17 years ago, I walked into the center, and it was really weird to me here because everybody was so nice. Everybody was so nice and smiling, and I thought, this is like the weirdest experience. But I was in a point in my life where I was rebuilding myself. I had just like demolished my old life and was starting fresh, and so I was really open and trying to just discover what was mine to do, where I was to go. And so I came here after somebody recommended I do so. And so I found a seat and just felt really uncomfortable with all the niceness I was surrounded by. Isn't that weird? And now look. So I'm sitting there, and it was Dr. Tom Costa, and he started his service the same way every single week. And I think he had us stand up, and he said to us, "You are a very valuable, worthwhile person." And my brain began to spasm because no one had ever told me those words, ever. I certainly didn't feel that way about myself. And so it set off a chain reaction within my whole being. It cracked things open. It melted the ice in my heart. And I cried like a baby, just standing there going, who is that stranger that I do not know, this little man that told me something I have been yearning to hear my whole life? Dr. Tom. So that broke the field open for me. You know, God doesn't want us to hate ourselves. God does not want us to condemn ourselves, to be hard on ourselves. It does not want us to hold guilt, resentment. That is not God's intention for us. And when we do hold all that stuff, that wall goes straight up, and we cannot receive our good, that generosity of spirit. So we've got to do that work to see how perfect we are in who we are and to forgive ourselves so we can open the door to our good. Now, another really great step in developing our spirituality and bringing up those pillars that God is generous and that we are worthy and deserving of receiving the generosity of spirit at all times is to understand the nature of the mind. Now, many early New Thought people saw the mind as being divided into two places, two states of being. We've got the mortal mind, and then we've got the spiritual mind. And the mortal mind is exactly what it sounds like. Very fear-based, very of this planet, very much into have to do this is what is in front of me, not considering any kind of influence of spirit because it's all about being in this dimension of time and space and just working with that. Very fearful, very much into survival. And then we have the other mind, my favorite, spiritual mind. Wow. Spiritual mind is that mind which knows of the nature of God, that knows of the abundance, of the possibilities, of the eternality of the soul. It is that which sees the big picture. It is that where love is. That's the mind that we want to develop. I know a lot of people have a really big mortal mind, and the spiritual mind is really tiny. And I know when I came to this center, my spiritual mind wasn't real big at all. But learning these principles and studying and doing the work allowed me to grow my spiritual mind really big, and now my mortal mind is really teeny. And I think that behooves us to really get into that and use these spiritual tools that we have to offer here to grow that spiritual mind, because it is a good mind. It is a very good mind. Okay, what I want to talk about now is I have to scoop it back in, the relationship with the self, and I apologize for that I'm going backwards. The relationship with the self, one thing I wanted to say that I'd missed out on is that there is within you something that is unique to you. It is that which is you that is self-expressed, that only you can do. And a lot of us turn that off because when we're little kids and we're starting to get into our body temples and we're feeling all alive and all connected, and our parents are going, oh my God, you are the best, you are great, keep going, keep going. And then we go over to that electrical socket and we want to put our finger in it, and somebody says, no. That is the point where we begin to separate from that beautiful, unique self that we are. That self that we are that is beyond what we learn from the outside world. It's something that we carry in here that is unique to each and every person, makes you special. And that is something that is big in getting ourselves into knowing how worthy and deserving we are of this beautiful life that we have, to be able to reclaim what we once knew about ourselves, that we have that perfection. Because throughout life, we make mistakes, and that's okay, and we do things that maybe aren't so good or so life-affirming, and then that wall comes up and we stop self-expressing. We stop self-expressing because we don't trust ourselves, And we've got to build back that trust. And we've got to honor ourselves. We've got to understand ourselves. We've got to understand why we've made the decisions that we've made and be compassionate towards ourselves. It is so easy for us to be compassionate towards others. We must be compassionate towards ourselves as well and understand why we do what we do. And it's okay because, we've all done it. And so for the greater good, not only of ourselves, but the greater good of this world, when we can have that understanding and that love and that connection to who we are and be able to self-express and trust ourselves, then we can see that we are the generosity receivers of goodness because we absolutely are worthy and deserving of that. And so the next place we need to go is to faith. And I love Science of Mind because it teaches us a different sort of faith, a faith that really isn't about things needing to turn out the way I want them to in order for me to believe in God. Things have to look a certain way, then I'll believe in God. That's really not what Science of Mind teaches. It teaches a deeper faith. It teaches a faith of saying, well, you know what? There are things in life that happen, but there is a divine unfolding, a divine pattern. And in Science of Mind, it allows us to open our eyes to be able to see just what that pattern is and to recognize God in every single thing that happens in this life experience. When I began taking my classes here at the center, I didn't jump on board with these principles right away. I was really skeptical. It looked really good to me because I loved seeing how people were having these incredible demonstrations in their lives. And I wanted to see that in my life too, but I didn't quite trust things. There was still a part of me that thought it was magical thinking or it was too good to be true or it was Pollyanna-ish. So I had to play a little game with my mind. I said, okay, we're going to do this. Let's do this. Let's make this an experiment. Let's just play with this idea, these Science of Mind principles, and see how they work. And so I thought, okay, that's a good idea. Then I don't have to fully commit, and I can just see if this experiment will work, right? And so I went to class, and I studied, and I meditated. I did all of the other things. I prayed, did my affirmations, did all that great stuff. And first, the parking places started to demonstrate, right? It starts with the parking place. And then I started receiving money from totally unknown places that I was not expecting. And then I got this great job. Wow, these principles sure look like they work, but I wasn't quite on board yet, even though I was demonstrating all this stuff. And then one day, I had this huge epiphany, and I realized it is not about the stuff. Because my consciousness started to stretch and grow, and I started to realize that this is about something bigger. This is about embodying the attributes of spirit. That's what this is about. This is about me feeling prosperous, abundant, healthy, and well on the inside of me. That's about me knowing it, feeling it, experiencing it without there needing to be an outside prop for me to feel that way. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. And so that is the faith. That is the faith of knowing that that presence of spirit is everything that you are within every cell and fiber of your being. You've got it all. And knowing that is where we develop our faith, because if I've got all that God stuff inside of me, I cannot go wrong in this life at all. And that is so very liberating. And so I'm leading you into something here, as you might imagine, being very calculated. I'm leading you to what we really need to do and become. And that is for us to become the generous spirit. That is where our final outcome is. In all of this pillar building, in all of this spiritual growth and expansion, we must become the generous spirit in our lives. We must get into that place of divine reciprocity where we are understanding that spirit is generous, where we are understanding and believing that we are worthy and deserving of the generosity of spirit in every single area of our lives. Knowing those two pillars, being cemented in that, we become the generous spirit.
And that means that I am constantly giving, constantly receiving. Wherever I show up, I am ready to give and I'm ready to receive. I come giving love. I come giving my time. I come giving my money. I come giving my stuff I don't need anymore. I come giving my support, my compassion. When I come as the generous spirit, I am setting forth a circle, a vortex, an energy field that goes and goes, and guess what? I do not have to maintain it at all. The energy takes care of everything. I don't need to pray on my hands and knees for stuff because I am the generous spirit and it just shows up. Not just as stuff. It shows up as health and wellness. It shows up as love. It shows up as creativity that does not stop. It shows up as wonderful relationships. It shows up as everything. Because when I know I am the generous spirit can deliver. And everything works like clockwork. You do not have to struggle anymore. You do not have to work this to death. You don't. Be the generous spirit, and you will live in a state of complete wonderment and awe and joy and abundance. I thank you today for listening to me, for opening up and being receptive. And I trust that what I've said today, something, one nugget, has penetrated your heart, and you can take it home with you. Namaste. Thank you. Woo, boy. Thank you. Thank you. That was really fun. Well, this is our offertory time, our gratitude time. I love to call it the gratitude time, just to give thanks. Thanks for this center. Thanks for what you've got in your life, all the goodness. So when you have your love offering or just your membership card, whatever, put it around against your heart and hold it there and just feel what gratitude feels like. Thank you, sweet spirit, for the generosity that you always pour unceasingly into my life in all forms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so if you are love streaming, and I'm sorry, I don't know if we've even said hello to our love streamers. We're grateful to have you here today. You can text your offering as well. There's the number on the screen. And so with a grateful, open heart, let us say our offertory prayer together, and I know it's coming up. Here we go. Please join me as we say, I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I only live for God. No more struggle.
Thank you. And we're so grateful for all that you have given to us, to our center today, that allows us to do our good work and to continue supporting you in your evolution of your soul, because that's where it's at, baby. All right. So we've got our prayer up on the screen there. Just join me as we say together. This collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you, Steve. Oh, so Was this anybody's first time here today at our center? Anybody new here for the first time? I'm not going to embarrass you, I promise you. I want to give you a gift. Stand up. Oh, yay. Oh, it's a joy to have you. Thank you. We have some information inside of that CD case, and if you go to the front desk out there in the lobby area, they'll give you a CD of one of Dr. Joe's services. He's the main guy here. He's the main guy. But he's really wonderful. So come back next week. He'll be here. Following services, if you need prayer for anything you're walking through in life right now, whether it's a challenge or just some really good stuff coming up that you want blessed, we've got our practitioners over in the Ohm Room, which is right across the way, and they would love to do a prayer for you. And next, we've got our calendar for the week there, and you can see there was a mistake on that flyer. My gratitude class does not go through November 6th. It goes through the end of November, and you're welcome to join us if you like, if you didn't show up at the first one. It is Love Offering. And so you can see the times up there. We've got our grief work on Tuesdays. If you've suffered any loss, we are there, and we've got these angels that come and just soothe your soul for whatever you've lost in your life. We've got yoga with Audrey on Wednesday. I've got my Sacred Circle at 9 a.m. if you want to join us. Friday, we've got Tai Chi, metaphysics to mysticism, and there's an AA meeting. And Saturday, we've got Qigong and meditation practices, and Vicky's class, Living from the Mountaintop. So we have a lot going on here, and it's so beautiful to do that. So I want to thank everybody who was a part of this service, especially all of you here. It's wonderful to gather together in spiritual community and just raise ourselves up and see what's real and true about ourselves so we can be the presence of God, the presence of love in this world, and lift everybody else with us. I'd like to thank William in the back for taking care of me and my mic, and all the other people, Holly and the guys. I'd like to thank Julie and Steve in the office and the practitioners and ministers who hold that high consciousness for us. And Dr. Joe, if you're watching, I hope I made you proud. I don't know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. Anyways, without further ado, let us pray out and go on with our beautiful day where we have just set that intention to know that power of spirit is everywhere present. And this morning, we are very clear about that, because we are feeling it in every cell and fiber of our being, knowing that we are never alone and that spirit walks with us. It is the constant companion. It is that which guides us rightly, that shines its light upon our path so we can see very clearly where to go for the highest and best good to be made manifest in our lives. So I am knowing that this week before us, we have got those 2 pillars of belief soundly in place, knowing that when we connect, we open ourselves up to the generosity of spirit, knowing it is God's pleasure to give and give unceasingly to us. And so we allow ourselves to heal anything that blocks that good and step into our righteousness, into our self-expression, and just be what we were here to be, to enjoy this beautiful life and be very grateful that we are here together as one. And so with so much love in my heart, knowing how very blessed we are this week, enjoying everything that we are doing and seeing the presence of God in all that we are doing, I just release my word right here and right now into that perfect law of mind, knowing it is done. And so join me together as we affirm by saying, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to run out in the front and shake your hands.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roam. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far